Enjoy the show.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? Sorry for the late start. A lot of stuff happened. Yeah, that's the angle I like. Um, and Gerald, we got a first comment from Austin. Um, so first off, before we get into this, we're gonna get into our sponsors early. So Siriani Says Sports is sponsored by DAS Technology Consulting, simplifying technology, Valx Enterprises, building projects for success, the Grace Foundation of New York, support, empower, educate, enhance, Jag One Physical Therapy, official therapy provider for the teams you love. Outback Steakhouse in Middletown, Aussie rules, Rocco's Original Italian Ices, and of course, the one and only integrated planning group, client focused, advice driven. Now, why are we saying the sponsors first? Because I got some advice from our good friend Loro to do the sponsors first, and I feel like it saves time because it gives us more time to talk sports without that little extra thing at the end. So, but anyways, I'm Matt Siriani, and the reason why we're a little bit late, I had a big chest workout, and my chest is killing me. That's Ryan Barrett Jr. How you doing, Ryan?
Respect the Matt. You always got to get the gains. I'm doing all right. Finally healed from being sick, which sucked, but I'm feeling better. But excited, Matty. Jets had a bye, so it was very just nonchalant week for me. Honestly, it was good, well needed.
And also we have Leroy Antonio from Burbank, California, with us, a regular here on Siriani Says Sports. Leroy, how you doing?
Doing good, Matt and Ryan. Looking forward to a great show tonight. Looking at, especially talking Patriots and Jets with you, Ryan.
Oh yes.
Oh, this is gonna be great. So here's the agenda that I sent Ryan and Loro. We're gonna hype up Patriots Jets. That's basically the main thing that we're gonna do here. But we have a lot of baseball to get into because we had some awards given out as far as Manager of the Year is concerned. We're gonna go over our Cy Young predictions, our MVP predictions. We have breaking news coming out of the Bronx and how that could affect Aaron Judge. We have Loro Knows featuring obviously Ryan with the Patriots Jets thing. We have the Beasts of the East. Ryan calls it the AFC Beast and NFC Beast, but honestly, it's the Beasts of the East because all 8 teams in the Eastern divisions of the NFL are good. They're 500 or better. It's kind of amazing. We're gonna do our picks based on the spread, and then that's pretty much it. So let's get started. So we're gonna start off with the breaking news out of the Bronx first. We're gonna start off with. And this is actually coming from Anthony Siriani of the Siriani Says Sports team. Anthony Rizzo is coming back to the Yankees. He's going to sign a 2-year, $34 million deal with, I think, option for 2025. This is a pretty big deal because I know Laura and you and I talked about first baseman situation, how the Yankees are going to provide for first base with no Anthony Rizzo. And it would have been tough. I know you said maybe Oswaldo Cabrera you could put it first in the infield because he does play pretty good in the infield. But you have one of the best first basemen in baseball. If you let him walk, it would have been hard. So I'm going to start off with Ryan because obviously Ryan is the Yankee fan of the group. Well, we're both Yankee fans, but how big was it to bring Anthony Rizzo back, Ryan?
I mean, it kind of messed up my mock all season, Matty, like I told you a couple weeks ago, where I actually had DJ LeMahieu play first, and I remember I said in there they could bring back Anthony Rizzo. I don't know if they will. Well, they did, and honestly, I think it's a good move because I think also it gives Aaron Judge more of a reason to want to stay here. But I also think you need that lefty bat. I mean, Rizzo's been one of the best defensive first basemen in baseball for a long time now. He's in the Yankees, in Yankee Stadium. He's been pretty good offensively. So it makes sense. Now my only question is, Maddie. Now, like, is their infield now then going to be Rizzo, Torres? Like, where is Glaber going to play or DJ? Like, because they've already said they're committing to Donaldson, which I think is a terrible, terrible idea. I would hope they would bench Donaldson in favor of DJ LeMahieu, but again, I have no idea, so I don't know who's playing second base or shortstop because now they had 2 second basemen in DJ LeMahieu and Glaber Torres because the Yankees have already kind of established that they don't want Glaber going back to shortstop. So I don't know what they're going to do there. So it's interesting to me. Honestly, I don't know what's going to happen yet. But again, Aaron Judge is still the big domino left to fall. But we'll have to see.
Loro, you wanted to add on something to that?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think the Yankees would keep Anthony Rizzo, but now that Anthony Rizzo is staying, I think it tells me that Aaron Judge is likely coming back to the Bronx because I kind of think the Yankees have unfinished business right now because this team is ready to win with Aaron Judge and Anthony Rizzo. I still see them adding a couple of more starters to complement Garrett Cole, Nestor Cortez, and Luis Severino. And I also think they need to get a closer too. And I think if they can accomplish those, I think I could see them repeating as AL East champions.
That would be the optimistic thing that we saw. And also, I know that Loro, this is kind of a little bit of a Loro no thing, but like I think the big thing with Anthony Rizzo, bringing him back, this is a guy who hit 30-something home runs this past season, and he's a big part of that Yankee offense. He's a good defensive first baseman, like Ryan said, very very good. And all those splits at first base, all those good scoops up, like I don't know where he could get that from anywhere else at first base production wise. Like I said, Oswaldo Cabrera plays a good infield, but he's mainly when we saw him play infield, he was mainly he mainly was relegated to playing shortstop and maybe a little bit of second, but like
Maybe outfield too for Oswaldo Cabrera.
It may be outfield for Oswaldo Cabrera.
I also think if you look at it, guys, I think the Yankees will probably keep Andrew Benintendi.
We hope so.
We hope so. Yeah,
He should stay.
Were you on with us when I did my Yankee kind of mock off season? Were you there?
I'm not sure if you were there. I was there, Ryan. I think I was doing the World Series.
No, I think it was actually the one you missed. Like when you missed like 2 weeks ago or something.
Yeah.
So basically, kind of what I was doing is I was saying the Yankees were probably going to let Rizzo walk, and I was going to say their infield would be hopefully, was DJ LeMahieu, insert shortstop Trey Turner, Carlos Correa, Xander Bogaerts, somebody, Gleyber Torres, and DJ LeMahieu at first, right? And I had my outfield as Benintendi, Judge, and insert like another outfielder.
Harrison Bader.
Harrison Bader. Sorry, yeah, it was Benintendi, Bader, and Judge. So I mean, clearly my mock off season's not really going anywhere. I think Brian Cashman has other ideas. I mean, I went on this rant a little bit, Maddie, but like if they choose to play Josh Donaldson over DJ LeMahieu or whatever they choose to do just because they're paying Josh Donaldson, they're freaking New York Yankees. I mean, pay guys to sit down. The Dodgers do it all the time. They just finished paying David Price, who sat there for what, Loro, 3 years, 4 years?
The Dodgers just paid David Price a boatload of money.
I'm saying, he sat there and didn't. How many years did he pitch? I mean, I didn't pay attention to him. Like over the last 3 years, how many games that guy pitched?
I mean, he pitched. I didn't think he was used much because he was a converted reliever now, and I think it's likely that David Price is going to retire.
Exactly, but like my point is like the Yankees can do what the Dodgers did, like literally pay Donaldson 1 year to just sit on the bench. I mean, we see teams do it all the time, and the Yankees are one of those teams that have no excuses here. The New York Yankees, you have money up like you have money all over the place. So like just please play DJ at third, please. If that fact that they signed Rizzo, like I can't, Maddie, I can't watch Josh Donaldson swing through 95-mile-an-hour. I just can't do it. Can't watch it.
I mean, it's a difficult situation that you have two pretty good third basemen that you could rely on. But I agree with you. I think LeMahieu's better than Donaldson by a margin.
I mean, Donaldson may be better defensively, but I take DJ's offense any day of the week.
Right.
I think Josh Donaldson's better offensively, in my opinion, because I've seen what he can do. I mean, he is a guy that can hit 20 to 25 homers in a season. He still can produce at an offensive level.
Don't tell me that, Laura. I watched this guy in the playoffs, Laura, strike out about 8 times. I watched him every time in the playoffs. Laura, second and third, loaded, bases loaded, first and second, strike out every time. So I mean, no, like, not trying to take any digs or anything. I don't want to hear. I do not want to hear that blasphemy saying that DJ looked that. Jesus Christ, Josh Donaldson's better than DJ LeMahieu on offense, because go watch 2019 DJ LeMahieu and then tell me he's better, or 2020 DJ.
Well,
LeMahieu.
if you talk about DJ LeMahieu, I mean, he was used all over the place.
That's what I'm saying. But like the argument I'm making, Loro, is that they should play DJ at third over Josh Donaldson. That's all.
Well, Donaldson can DH.
But
if you want to put Giancarlo in the outfield,
then who you sitting? Benintendi, Bader, or Judge?
Well, that's tough. I mean, the Yankees got to.
That's why they're the New York Yankees, and they should just pay Josh Donaldson to sit on the bench.
We'll see what happens.
Do I even think Gleyber Torres is a trade candidate? I think he is. If you trade him to go to a team that needs another right-handed bat, DJ will for sure start at second, and then Volpe I think is gonna end up being the starting shortstop.
I don't know. I would hope so. They may go with Peraza now that the fact that they already called him up. I don't think they call him up and send him back down this year. So I think we may see Volpe sit in the minors another year, unfortunately.
Tough one. A lot of decisions that have to be made. It's very, very hard to tell. And actually, I want to bring one thing Loro brought up. This was what I think it was. Hal Steinbrenner was asked in an interview with Meredith Morakovitz. A couple things about the status of the team, the state of the team, and I know I took little bits and pieces out of it. I didn't watch the full interview, but one thing that I heard was that Hal Steinbrenner was quote unquote willing to name Aaron Judge captain of the Yankees if he stays. Loro, is that true?
I think if Aaron Judge stays, which I think is likely, I think Aaron Judge is going to be the captain of the New York Yankees because I think the team really, really loves Aaron Judge and how he values the New York Yankees.
Mm-hmm. And the problem that I see, well, I think Rizzo staying is great because obviously Aaron Judge and Anthony Rizzo, we've seen them in the dugout. They interact a lot. They're pals. But I think one thing that you brought up with me, Laura, when we did the Colorcast games over the course of the weekend, was you said that the Yankees are tied to Stanton. The Yankees are tied to Garrett Cole for a long time, both those guys. And you had $40 million that you spent primarily on Anthony Rizzo. That takes a little bit of a pinch out of what you want to pay Aaron Judge, that $400+ million contract, that near $500 million contract that you were talking about. That's what kind of takes away from it a little bit. I think getting Rizzo back was great, but I think it could hurt getting Aaron Judge back.
Why do you think it might hurt Aaron Judge to come back to the Bronx? Like, because I think if you look at it, Matt, before you go on here, it's between the Yankees and the Giants for Aaron Judge.
Yeah, the reason why I'm thinking it might take a bit away from Aaron Judge coming back is because that's $40 million less that you could have paid him to stay, and that $40 million can make a massive difference.
Why is that?
Ryan?
Why is that? Do you think?
Why is that? Because
why are you saying 40 less million? There's no salary cap in baseball.
Yeah, it's payroll.
Maddie. It's like the salary cap is created by the owner. So I mean, if Hal Steinbrenner was really like consistent on getting Aaron Judge back, the Anthony Rizzo thing should only be a positive. So I mean, like I think that if Hal is all on board with Judge getting back, I think the Rizzo move only helps Aaron Judge because now he's got a guy like you said that he's friends with Rizzo in the locker room now for another 2 more years. And I just think Maddie and the Giants have said it. They said they're not going to be outbid, and it depends on where is Aaron Judge's loyalty. Does he want to go home, or does he want to stay in the biggest market in sports?
Good point.
So it's all comes down to at this point because I think the Yankees and the Dodgers will match each other's offers.
I don't think my Dodgers will get Aaron Judge. It's between the Dodgers.
The Giants, I meant. I think the Yankees and Giants are going to match each other's offer, whatever it is. It's gonna be
the Dodgers are in the running, but I don't think they really need Aaron Judge.
And also, I want to shoot down a claim that Austin said in the chat, Judge to the Red Sox. Yeah,
I mean, I've told him this. If I was Judge, I'd say to the Yankees, hey, the Red Sox are offering me this. And the Yankees would literally just be like, no. Here's this. Like, if I was Judge, Maddie, and I'm not going to lie to you, like, if I was Judge, I'd use the Yankees. I'm not the Yankees. I'd use the Mets, and I use the Red Sox as leverage here. I'd be like, listen, the Red Sox are offering me this, and the Mets are offering me this. And if you're the Yankees, you'd be like, well, those are the 2 teams he cannot go to. Because as much as it hurts as a Yankee fan, Maddie, I mean, if he goes to the Giants, really kind of like, who cares? Like, they're kind of irrelevant to us, right? Where, like, if it's the Red Sox or the Mets, it's like, oh, boy, like, can't happen. So that's why if I was Judge, I'd use that as leverage. I don't think it's going to matter because I don't think the leverage that he would get from them is really going to, like, it matters the whole Giant situation anyway.
Right. Okay. So obviously there's a lot of stuff on the table left for the Yankees to figure out. We're gonna dive into this in the coming weeks if something happens, and probably Aaron Judge is favored to win AL MVP. He's probably gonna win AL MVP on Thursday. That's probably gonna be no surprise. But we'll focus more on the Yankees in the coming weeks. If something happens, we'll absolutely let you know. But now we're gonna get into some more breaking news in baseball. This comes out of the MLB awards ceremony. Terry Francona of the Cleveland Guardians won the AL Manager of the Year award. A little bit of a surprise, given the fact that the Guardians, yes, they made the playoffs, but you look at the candidates. You had Scott Service of the Seattle Mariners, who ended their 21-year playoff drought, and you had the Brandon Hyde of the Baltimore Orioles, who had a 31-game turnaround. I mean, you got to remember the Baltimore Orioles were 52-110 last season. They're 83-79 this year. So you're talking, like I said, a 31-game turnaround. It's something significant. I guess what really happened was the voters had to pick: do I want to go with the guy who broke a drought? Do I want to go with the guy who had an amazing turnout, or do I want to go with the guy who had the youngest team in the league and did something significant with them? And they went with the latter. Laurel, I know you and I talked about the whole manager of the year candidacy of these three men. Are you surprised at all that Terry Francona got the nod over Scott Service?
Not at all. I mean, Terry Francona, I mean, who would have thought that he would guide this young Cleveland Guardians team to greatness and win a division title? It just tells me something. Terry Francona is a respected man in baseball. I mean, he's great with new school and old school players and help them reach their potential. And I think that Terry Francona winning this Manager of the Year award, it tells me that Cleveland is ready to win now. It doesn't mean that they're going to spend and go all out and get free agents. I really think that if you look at this Guardians team, the future is bright. Look at they're building this team around Jose Ramirez. They traded Lindor for a reason because I think the Guardians are Jose Ramirez's team.
Ryan, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think Terry Francona actually does deserve it over the guy for the Mariners, and I think I agree with Laura. I think kind of like 100% here, and I think it's because he took this team, right, Maddie, where most people would look at this team and be like, okay, you know three guys, you know Josh Naylor, you know Jose Ramirez, and you know Shane Bieber, right?
Mhm.
And he took like, not gonna lie to you, like no offense to these guys, like a bunch of no names this year, right? And he transformed Stephen Kwan that into a rookie of the year, was a rookie of the year candidate for the American League. And kind of just transformed them. And I think this team, like you said, Loro, I think they believe in him. I think that Terry Francona, along with Buck Showalter, is one of those managers, right, that has been around the league, been around baseball for a long, long time, and has seen how the success in like the 90s compared to now, like how like the whole trend of baseball has changed. And I think he's kind of made his own style based upon that. And I think, like you said, Laurel, I don't think there's anything right now that guy hasn't seen, right? Do I agree with everything he does? No. Like, I think he should have started Shane Bieber against Nestor Cortez in game 5, but thank God as Yankee fans he didn't. But like, I mean, you gotta tip the cap to Terry Francona, and like you said, Laurel, in the division that they play in, I'm not gonna lie to you, I thought they were getting third, right? I thought the Twins were gonna be better than them. I thought the White Sox would be a lot better than them. And the fact that he, like you said, the fact that he won that division convincingly too, like they didn't win it by a lot. They won it by like I think it was like 8 or 9 games, if
Yeah,
I'm not mistaken. So they won it
yeah,
pretty convincingly. And not even that, they took the Yankees to game 5, which is like pretty insane.
yeah, absolutely. It's kind of amazing what you have to believe in. Ryan's taking a little bit of a break. We're gonna get back to Ryan in a little second, but like, Lauro, do you have an update on NL Manager of the Year, or was that award not announced yet?
That award has already been announced. So it is Buck Showalter and Terry Francona, and then Rookie of the Year is Julio Rodriguez and Michael Harris.
Wow. Buck Showalter got the nod over Dave Roberts. That's kind of amazing.
I didn't think. I was hoping that would happen. And who's this right
Oh,
there?
we got food. We got food.
We good.
We got him some baby back ribs, freshly cooked from scratch by me. I even raised the calf myself. I got some mac and cheese and some fries. I picked the potatoes this morning, dude. They are fire. This kid's been hitting the gym. He's going to get big. You'll see him in the NFL soon. Trust me.
Fire.
Nice. Thank you, sir. So Ryan's getting a little bit of food here while we're on the show. But like,
Hey man,
Buck
the benefit of housemates, man. That's just how it is. But yes, again,
Exactly.
you have Blake
Yeah, who's that right there, Ryan? I mean, who is that special guest that you had right there?
one of my housemates.
one of his housemates. But anyway, Ryan, I don't know if you just heard what Loro said, but Buck Showalter got the nod for NL Manager of the Year over
Right now,
Dave
he just
Roberts.
did?
Yeah, this is breaking news.
So that
It happened during the award show for
So that to me makes sense. Sorry to cut you off, Laura. That actually makes sense to me because if it was up to me, I would have given it to Buck Showalter too. And it's not that Dave Roberts did a bad job. I mean, he had a disappointing end to the season, obviously for most Dodger fans. But like again, like you said, Laura, like a couple weeks ago, that Dave Roberts obviously going to come back. But I look at it more of like the whole Mets and Buck Showalter and transformation and all that. And I don't know, man. I just think like Buck Showalter changed the Mets. He brought a different culture. He made them actually contenders in the National League, and they should have won that division if they didn't, choke at the end. But I think I give the nod to Buck over Dave Roberts.
Yeah, it was a tough call. I really believe that Buck Showalter could have absolutely. He did had a phenomenal season. Don't get me wrong, but I do think that Dave Roberts 111 wins. That's hard to do. So I was very, very surprised of the way things played out. But obviously, Buck Showalter has been a manager for a long time. He managed a bunch of teams. This is, I think, his third or fourth team that he's managed. Like he's been around. He's been everywhere. But to me, Buck Showalter took a team that was very, very talented, but was missing a lot of pieces. And I think that they made him a winner. I mean, obviously they didn't win the division, which is I think a big part of the reason for for lack of success in the postseason. But I think Buck Showalter did his part. But now we're gonna make our quick predictions because we got rapid fire because we want to get into the Patriots Jets hype train here. We're going to get into our Cy Young Award winners and our MVP Award winners. Loro, I think you have the nominees in front of you. What do you got? Let's start off with Cy Young.
Okay, my Cy Young Award prediction goes to Julio Urias. I think he wins it over Sandy Alcantara and Max Fried. And for the American League, I picked Justin Verlander over Alek Manoah and Dylan Cease.
I'm going to go with your guys as well. If Sandy Alcantara didn't stink against the Dodgers, I probably would have picked Sandy Alcantara because he had a really sneaky good season for the most part. And I got to agree with you. Justin Verlander had an under 2 ERA this season. He was phenomenal. And in the postseason, he finally broke his he finally got the monkey off his back and finally won a World Series game. So I just feel like Justin Verlander, the stars aligned for him this year. Ryan, what do you got?
I definitely got Justin Verlander. And I'm going to break the trend. I got Sandy Alcantara, whatever. I can't say his name. Sorry. Yes, but I don't feel like a lot of voting and stuff. Here's my reasoning, right? This is his first time pitching in the playoffs. I'll give him a pass. I know he stunk against the Dodgers, right? But again, that's the Dodgers. Like their lineup is loaded, right? So I'll give him a pass there. And like you said, Matt, he was probably the most consistent pitcher in the National League this year. Like no disrespect to Julio Urias, but like it's easy to look good when your team's scoring 7-8 runs a game. Mm-hmm. Like, and I'm not saying he didn't pitch great. Like he pitched really, really good. And it also comes down to the teams too. So I mean, I would give it to Sandy Alcantara, but again, I don't think there's many bad options here. But I definitely agree with you guys. I think Justin Verlander is a lock for the AL.
I agree with that. We also got Big D in the house. Congrats on your one fantasy win this season.
Yes, sir.
Congrats on your one fantasy win this season. He finally got his fantasy win. We'll talk about that a little bit, very, very briefly at the end.
Who is Darren, by the way? Is that your cousin?
That's my father.
Well, I didn't know that.
That's my father. But now we're going to get into the MVPs. Ryan, I think I have a good feeling I know who your NL MVP is going to be because you've been saying his name over and over and over again, despite his struggles late in the year. But we're going to get into MVPs for the National League and American League, and then we're going to go into the Jets-Patriots hype train. So, Ryan, I'm going to start with you. Who are your NL and AL MVPs?
Who do you think it is?
Aaron Judge for the AL, obviously, and then NL Paul Goldschmidt.
Indeed. And Aaron Judge, I'm just not even going to talk about because, come on, like there's nothing to talk about. There's nothing. So I'll just skip to my boy Paul Goldschmidt, right? And I know I talked about this a little bit, right? But it was like, oh, Pete Alonso, all these other guys. Paul Goldschmidt this year was the most consistent National League hitter in the league this year, right? People can say Nolan Arenado, he started off the year on fire. Then he kind of sizzled out towards the end of the year. I mean, Matty, the only other guy that was consistently hitting like Paul Goldschmidt was Manny Machado, right? But again, Manny Machado also had spurts where he was up and down at some points. But Paul Goldschmidt, man, he hit like 330-something. He had like 30-something home runs and over 100 RBIs. I mean, that guy was kind of the main reason that the Cardinals got to the playoffs. I mean, and we talk about Anthony Rizzo, dude. That guy's another one of those first basemen that's like consistent. And I think he's better than Rizzo. I think in certain categories, like I think defensively, definitely Anthony Rizzo's better, and Anthony Rizzo also has his perks being a lefty and all that. But I think the fact that Paul Goldschmidt, what he did offensively this year, it can't be matched, right? Like I know we always like to talk about all these defensive first basemen and stuff, but if you have a first baseman, right, that was hitting like Paul Goldschmidt this year, you'd be living good. So I get Pete Alonso and all that, but like, and I think this in baseball, and average just kind of sizzled out a little bit. I still look at average, Matty, as a really big, crucial factor in the MLB
Right.
now. I know a lot of teams and a lot of people don't do it anymore,
Right.
right? But I think it's a big factor, and the fact that that guy hit 330 is impressive.
Paul Goldschmidt. See, here's my thing. I'll get to Laurel last about this. I know Paul Goldschmidt was hitting like close to 340 at one point in the year, but he went from first in batting average to third. I think it was. I'm trying to think who won the batting title over him. It wasn't Justin Turner. It wasn't Freddie Freeman. I'm trying to think who. Oh, it was Jeff McNeil. Jeff McNeil came in first place in the batting title.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff McNeil came in first. Freddie Freeman finished second, and then Paul Goldschmidt went from first to third. Fourth was Jose Arraez. Fourth was Jose Arraez, which pissed me off. But anyway, and then fifth was Aaron Judge. I'm gonna get into my NL. I'm gonna just talk about NL MVP. Aaron Judge is not even a discussion. Not even close to a discussion. I gotta say Nolan Arenado. I think that Nolan Arenado, yes, he did have spurts where he was up and down. But like, I think that if you're looking at the two Cardinal teammates that are up for MVP consideration, I think that Nolan Arenado was the most consistent. I think that Paul Goldschmidt faded a bit towards the end, and then when we got to the playoffs, he just didn't look good at all.
That's fair.
So I think that consistency matters from the very beginning of the season to the end. Paul Goldschmidt for 90% of the season was fantastic. Then for the final 10% of the season, the final 16, 20 games, he kind of just fizzled out. So that's why I'm going to say Nolan Arenado. Loro, what do you think? Do I even need to ask you about AL MVP?
No, I picked Aaron Judge. And then NL MVP, I'm with you. I picked Nolan Arenado.
Explain.
I think, he's great defensively. I think, he's a clutch hitter. And I think he's one of the reasons why I think the Cardinals are playoff contenders for many, many years to come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they could be something special. All right, so it's time for Loro Knows.
I'm ready.
With Ryan Jr.
I'm ready.
So for those of you who are unaware, this Sunday, there's a big game coming up between the New York Jets and the New England Patriots. It's in Gillette Stadium. Now, if you want to know the tale of the tape here, here's the fun fact. The storyline going into this game is the fact that the Jets haven't beaten the Patriots since Week 16 of 2015.
13 games.
13 games. They haven't won in Gillette since the divisional playoff game of 2010.
Yep.
It's been that long since the Jets have done something.
Thanks,
and Laurel,
Matty.
I hate to rub salt in the wounds, Brian, but Laurel, you and I have talked about this whole Jets-Patriots rivalry. We talked about everything going into it, the animosity, Sauce Gardner's talk, all that stuff. But Laurel, so I have a series of questions for the both of you. I'm going to start off with Laurel since this is mostly his segment. The first question I have for you, Laurel, is where is this? Oh yeah, what storyline is the most intriguing to you about this game?
I think it's about Jets rookie DB Sauce Gardner on Patriots rematch, and he said can't wait, and I'm like, is he already ready to talk smack on my guys? I mean, he might, but I like the guy. I think he's a really tough player, a good corner, and I think he's going to cause a lot of matchup problems. Especially on Myers and Parker and Aguilar and Bourne. So I think Sauce Gardner is going to be on them. You better believe it.
Oh, you better believe it is right. So Ryan, what's the most intriguing storyline to you about this game?
The most intriguing storyline?
Yeah.
Is that if you look at Zach Wilson, more than half of his picks have come against the New England Patriots. Mm-hmm. And people forget about that. So for all you box score GMs, I'm not saying that Zach is perfect. Far from it. But what I am saying is that against everybody but New England, he's played decent against. And it just comes down to, Matty, can these New York Jet freaking quarterbacks, it doesn't matter if it's Mark Sanchez or Geno Smith or Sam Darnold or Zach Wilson, can they get the monkey of Bill Belichick off their freaking back? Like, please. Like, for every disaster, Matty, it's always Bill at the other side. Mm-hmm. Seeing ghost, butt fumbles, it's always Bill Belichick at the end of the day. And it's just, can they beat this freaking guy? Can the quarterback play well against him? Finally.
All right. So that's a lot. That's a lot, but it's true. It's obviously true. Loro knows it's true. I mean,
Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, and I'm gonna say this right now. Lolo probably knows it. The Jets played better than them the last time they played. Zach Wilson just threw 3 interceptions. Like, Lolo, I don't think you can stare me in the face right now and tell me the Pats played a better game.
I mean, it was a bad game for the Patriots. I mean, we could have lost this game, but hey, we got the victory here. And
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying, like, the Patriots did not play that well, right? You guys won because Zach Wilson threw 3 picks. Like, it's I'm not gonna like say like that's the only reason, right? I think you got a couple of lucky penalties. You know, the Mac Jones roughing the passer, the John Franklin Myers roughing the passer. That was, I mean, I mean, the Bill Belichick effect always happens. I mean, it's just gonna happen. But like, I do think the Jets did play better in that matchup. Hopefully, they do again. But in regards to Sauce Gardner, man, you gotta respect the cockiness, but like, you gotta understand. And I think Robert Saleh told him, be like, listen, not against this team. Anybody else? Fine. Not them. Not this team. Because that's the thing with Sauce and Garrett Wilson and all these young guys is they don't know, Maddie. They don't know how a Jet fan like me, Maddie, has basically let me just put this into perspective, Maddie.
Okay.
They have not won in 13 games. And you play your division rivals twice a year. They have not won in 6 years, Maddie. You know where I was 6 years ago?
You were in high school. Middle school.
Let's just say I was a freshman in high school, Maddie. A freshman. The last time, not even the last time they beat them. I was actually in 8th grade the last time the Jets beat the Patriots.
Yeah, that's right.
So let me just put that. Sauce Gardner was probably about like a little bit older than me. Maybe Sauce Gardner was like a freshman or a sophomore the last time they won. That's like ridiculous, right? So like I respect the hell out of what Sauce does, and I love the kid, right? Like I love I love it all. But like you can't talk smack about this. You can't. You have to beat them first. If they beat them, Sauce can say whatever the hell he wants. Just not right now.
Okay. So that's the first question out of the way. The second question that I have for the both of you: what matchup stands out the most? Laura, I'm going to go to you.
Well, I think the matchup stands out to most for me is the quarterback battle. Zach Wilson and Mac Jones both were first-round picks in the 21 draft, and I want to see if Mac Jones can find a way to start picking it up. But with Zach Wilson, he's turning out to be the real deal in Broadway.
All right, Ryan, what's the most intriguing matchup about this game?
Quentin Williams versus Matthew Judon. The battle of the pass rushers, because in both of these games we saw, and I'm not going to lie to you, Matty, both these guys are in consideration for Defensive Player of the Year, right? Say everything you want about Quentin Williams. He leads defensive tackles in basically every stat. He leads them in sacks, leads them in pressures, leads them in hurries, leads them in like every pass rushing stat in the league right now. Matthew Judon as well, I think, has like 8.5, 9.5 sacks, like ridiculous. He's also another Defensive Player of the Year candidate. So I think it's going to come down to those guys is who wrecks the game more. Because if you remember, Matt Laurel, I remember vividly because I was actually at the game, but every pick that Zach Wilson threw, Matthew Judon was right in his face or applying pressure to Zach Wilson.
Good point.
And I know Quentin Williams got a sack, and I know he's getting double teamed the whole game, but it's going to come down, Matt, to those superstars on the defensive line. And I feel like whoever has a better game is going to lead their team to victory this Sunday.
That's a bold prediction there. I like that. All right, next up, players to watch on both sides of the ball. So I'm going to start with Loro. Who are the players to watch for the New England Patriots this game?
For me, it's Mac Jones, Ramondre Stevenson, and then you also watch out for Jacoby Myers and Hunter Henry on the offensive side of the ball. And then on defense, it's Matthew Judon and Devin McCourty. And also, you better watch out for Josh Uche, too, because Josh Uche has been getting more playing time. And also, Johan Bentley.
So how many players are we naming, Maddie? 1, 2? I mean, Laura, I think just named 3 or 4.
I would say 3 on each side.
Okay. All right. So for the
Now
Patriots, I'm definitely going to go with Mac Jones and Ramondre Stevenson. Definitely 1, 2. And I think my third guy, I think it has to be Jacoby Myers again because I think he killed the Jets linebacking core last week. Mm-hmm. And then on defense for the Patriots, I'm actually going to go with kind of 3. I guess there are 3 superstars in Kyle Duggar, Christian Barmore, and Matthew Judon.
All right, now Loro for the Jets. Who are the 3 players to watch on both sides of the ball?
Offensively, you got to watch out for Zach Wilson, Michael Carter. You got to watch out for Garrett Wilson. And then on defense, Quinnen Williams and CJ Mosley. And you also have to watch out for Sauce.
All right, Ryan, do you have the same players in mind?
I do not.
Oh,
I had the 2 Wilsons, right? Zach and Garrett. And then I also have as my sneaky pick you got to watch out for is well, not sneaky, but James Robinson. Because I think James Robinson can play a bigger role in this game than Michael Carter is. I think the Patriots are a team that's going to load up the box and they're going to need a big bruiser coming at them.
all
And then
right.
on defense, I got Quinnen. I got Sauce. But I also got, and I know people don't, I know if you're a Jet fan, you know who this is, but it's Bryce Huff. If you don't know who this guy is, look him up. Look up his pressure rates this year, Maddie. I think he's like top 3 in pressures this year. And I know he's like a third down specialist and everything, but like, again, if whoever's going to win this game, Maddie, he's going to win this game based on like sacks and all that stuff, like the turnover battle.
Right.
And I think we got to watch out for, obviously, like me and Lolo kind of harped down. We both have 2 defensive linemen from both teams. I have 2 defensive linemen from both teams. I got Christian Barmore and Matthew Judon and Quinnen Williams and Bryce Huff. So I think we're going to have to see, but it's going to be interesting, dude, because like talent wise, the Jets are a better team, right? But again, as long as Bill Belichick's the head coach, you can never count out this New England Patriots team, right? But and Maddie, I see you give a little bit of a look there. I don't think it's arguable, really. I don't think it's that much like ridiculous of me saying that. Like I think if you ask really anybody and say who's a better team right now, the Jets or the Patriots, I think they say talent wise is the Jets, which obviously puts a lot of pressure on them. Obviously losing the first game to them, but it's Bill Belichick, man. That's what it is.
I think coaching wise, the Patriots are better by a
But
long
I'm saying
shot.
talent wise, the Jets have a better team than them. Like, I don't think it's that close.
Wow, Loro, do you have any thoughts on that?
No.
Like, I think if you go position by position, Jets got a better receiving core. Tight ends is kind of a wash, right?
Mhm.
Offensive line will say is a wash. Running backs is close. Quarterback, like the whole offense, right, is kind of a wash. Right? If you look on defense, right, I think the Jets' defensive line is better. I think the Jets' linebackers are better. And I think the Jets' secondary is better. And I think, like, that's what it is. And I don't know, man. I think the Jets defensively are going to win this game or they're going to lose this game.
Wow.
I think Zach plays. Well, I'm not even going to talk. All I'll say is Patriots have no excuse to lose.
Because it's in Gillette.
It's in Gillette. It's been 13 in a row. So they got no excuses.
Okay, so now we're gonna leave this game out of picks based on the spread because of how significant this game is. Whoever wins this game is gonna be well. If the Patriots win, they're gonna be 6-4. If the Jets win, they're gonna be 7-3.
Oh, so you know what's crazy, Maddie?
What?
Is if the Jets win, they're in first. If they lose, they're in last.
Wow, that just tells you how big of a difference this game's gonna be. All right, so
AFC Beast, baby.
AFC Beasts. All right, so Laura, I'm gonna start with you. Who wins and what's the score?
Oh God.
You mean Patriots Jets?
Yes.
I think the Patriots win by 3 points. It's going to be 24-21 New England.
All right, Ryan, what about you?
Connor kills me. I hate this. I hate this. I really do. I hate this game. That's Patriots Jets in 2017.
All right.
It's gonna be an ugly game. I think me and Lowell can both agree on that.
All right. I've been going back and forth on this. I watched that first encounter between the two teams.
Don't say it. Don't say it, Maddie. Because I don't want. No, don't say it. Please don't say it.
Patriots win 21-7.
Good man. Good man. Let the Maddie curse come in.
The reason why I say that is because it's Bill Belichick at the end of the day. The defense shines whenever they play against the Jets, and I ultimately just think that the Jets are just not quite there yet to beat the Patriots. That's all I'm gonna say.
And the Maddie curse is in full effect. Thank you so much.
Okay, so now we got that out of the way. Whew! The intensity between these two, I'm telling you. Like, but now
it's a rivalry, Maddie. It's a rivalry.
It's a rivalry. But now we're gonna get into the big part of this whole Patriot. Well, it's similar to Patriots and Jets. It's relative to that. The Beasts of the East. Not just the NFC East, the AFC East. All 8 NFC East teams, all 8 Eastern teams are above 500 or 500. Obviously, the
go.
Commanders are 5-5 after their win against the Eagles, but that's just another story for another day. We'll talk about the Commanders in a little bit. Now, let me just say one thing. This division on both conferences, they're amazing, but it couldn't have come without a couple of surprises. I think the Jets are obviously the biggest surprise across the NFL. Don't get me wrong. And then obviously the Commanders, once they made an adjustment at quarterback, they got a lot better. I think Taylor Heineke is the guy for the future in Washington. And I think I saw this stat from a friend of the Colorcast community. His name is Zach Control. I want to give him a shout out.
Are you gonna say that they're 10-9 with Taylor Heineke and like terrible with everybody else?
That's not what I was gonna say, but that's a good point. I was gonna say that ever since the rumors came out that Dan Snyder wanted to sell the team, the Commanders are undefeated.
That's fair.
That's kind of insane.
They hate their owner.
They hate
That's
their
just how
owner. It is what it is. Obviously, like, this is kind of amazing. Like I said, the Patriots are holding on. The Jets are a surprise. The Dolphins are kicking butt. As much as Ryan hates it, the Bills are hanging in there tough. They've lost 2 in a row, but they're still proving that they're one of the elite teams in the AFC. And look at the NFC East. The Eagles, they just lost their first game, but they're proving way better than expectations. The Cowboys are consistent. Now they got Dak back. The Giants, they're
luckiest team in football.
Luckiest team in football.
Luckiest team. Nobody can tell me otherwise. The luckiest team on the face of the earth.
As a Giants fan,
it's ridiculous, dude. It's crazy.
As a Giants fan, I gotta tell you, Ryan, that's correct.
Because, and honestly, Matty, if I was a Giants fan, I'd be like, I don't give a damn. Be like, let the luck. If I were you, Matty, I'd be like, I don't care. Because Matty, the stuff I saw the Texans do this week, I'm like, there is no. I'm like, bro. I mean, like, bad teams are gonna do bad things, right? But like, dude, you can't tell me, right, that the Giants get like. You can't tell me that Davis Mills looks like the worst quarterback in the history of football in the fourth. Like, you can't tell me this stuff, dude. You can't. The fact that the Giants get a turnover exactly when they need it every single game, dude. You can't tell me that's you can't.
There's
some upper football god, Matty, that is watching down in the Giants right now, dude, and you gotta pray to God it keeps happening because those football gods, dude, got you going good.
I was talking to Loro on Colorcast. I told him that the Giants, I was not happy about their win against the Texans because they should have destroyed the Texans. They looked horrible.
I was telling my dad, the fact that was a game is disgusting for the Giants. The Giants should have blew them up by 3 scores.
Yeah, it shouldn't have even been close. But Loro, obviously I bring up the Giants. I wasn't happy about their win against the Texans, and that was, like I said, this was the first time that Brian Dable ended a game not pumped up. Because he knows, and everyone in that Giants squad knows that they were 1,000 times better than the Houston Texans. 1,000 times better. But yet they won by 8 points. It's a 1-possession game again. Every game this season, except for the Seahawks game, was a 1-possession game. So, Laurel, I want to get your thoughts on the Eastern region of the NFL and how awesome they've been and what impressed you the most. But we'll get into the Commanders. We'll talk about the Commanders actually for a little bit. We called the Commanders-Eagles game last night. Did you expect the Commanders to pull off the upset like that?
No, absolutely not. I was thinking that Philly was gonna blow them out
in Philadelphia, nonetheless. But now I want to get into what stands out for the Commanders with Taylor Heineke. Laura, I want to get your thoughts on this. What has Taylor Heineke done to change the complexion of this Washington team?
Was that?
What is it about Taylor Heineke that's changed the complexion of this Washington team?
Especially the offense, the way he is managing the game. Like the Commanders are running the football more, and he's also his game management skills have been very good.
Absolutely, and Terry McLaurin's exploded since Taylor Heineke became the starter. I think honestly, this could be the end of the career for Carson Wentz.
Oh, it's been over.
It's been over, but I think this was the final nail in the coffin because you lose your job to a guy who is not even a consideration for a starter. But honestly, Taylor Heineke's been good ever since that playoff game against the Buccaneers back in 2020. He's been good for a while. like the reason why Alex Smith got the nod as the starter over him is because Alex Smith was a competent starter, but he obviously was coming off a serious knee injury that forced him to miss a long time of football, and he won comeback player of the year in 2020. But obviously, I think you look at Taylor Heineke, he's just really, really solid. The way that the Commanders' offense is executed, running the football, passing the football, converting on third down was obviously a big key last night. Like the confidence is just there with Taylor Heineke, and with Carson Wentz, it's not. But I want to get your thoughts, Ryan, on the AFC East. Did you expect this to be a race between 4 teams?
I did not. And if you guys didn't know, I know Maddie knows this because I told him. But the AFC right now, Maddie, the wild cards are the Jets, the Bills, the Patriots, with the Dolphins
correct.
as the number 2 seed, which is absurd, right? By the way, but and here's my argument, Maddie, as to why the AFC is better than the NFC. You take anybody in this team, Maddie, and play them like I would. And here's my argument, right? I think the Patriots. Well, let me ask this: I don't think the Commanders beat any team in the AFC East.
No,
I don't think so. I would argue the Giants won in either. Like, as much as luck and as well as they've been playing, I don't know if you beat the Patriots. I think us against, I would be fascinated to watch the Jets versus the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Those are 2 putrid offenses that literally just run the ball. And then, obviously, I think the Jets defense is better, but I don't think you beat the Bills. And I don't think you beat the Dolphins.
No.
But, like, I would say, like, dude, like, I think you could pick up any, and here's my other thing, Maddie. I think you take any team in the AFC East right now, and you put them in any division outside the AFC West, and maybe the AFC. Like, I think any of these teams win the AFC South, and I think any of these teams could potentially win the AFC North. Like,
that's
the Ravens,
a good point.
The Ravens don't scare. Like, yeah, the Jets lost. They'd be like, oh, well, the Jets lost the Ravens. Yeah, the Jets had Joe Flacco, and the Ravens played terrible. But I mean, the Ravens don't really scare me. The Bengals without Jamar Chase just look like they can't score any points.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know there, but yeah, I don't know, dude. I think the AFC East is just they're absurd. It's freaking absurd. So I don't know, Maddie, but I'm here for it, dude. But of course, the one year the Jets got to be good, the whole damn division's got to be good. They can't have like. You know what's crazy, Maddie, is like you look at the Patriots all those years. Like the Jets were terrible, the Dolphins were terrible, the Bills were terrible. Like they had 6 easy wins the whole. Like they were guaranteed like basically like 6-0 every year. And It's like this division, like it's a dogfight, dude. Like if the Jets go 500 in the division, that's like beautiful, right? They already beat the Jets. They already beat the Dolphins. They already beat the Bills.
Yes.
If they beat the Patriots, they're 500 guaranteed.
That's amazing.
And what's also shocking to me, Maddie, and I will tell you right now, Maddie, I will come on this show livid if the Jets get 10 wins and don't make the playoffs. I will. Not again. It happened to them in 2015 where they had 10 wins. Dude, if they get 10 wins and they don't make the playoffs, dude, I'm going to be one angry boy.
Oh, man, I want to see that on the show. So I'm hoping the Jets actually snap their playoff drought. But Loro, when it comes to this Eastern division, this Eastern region of the NFL, what has impressed you the most about the Eastern region of the NFL?
Defense.
I think if you look at it, it's basically a mix of both great offenses and also great defenses too.
Mm-hmm. Now, the fact that the Patriots are hanging on, did you expect the Patriots to hang on to this division? We thought this would be a one-man show in the AFCs with the Buffalo Bills, but now they've lose back-to-back games, and all of a sudden, they're hanging on.
They're third right now.
Well, the Patriots, I mean, I'm surprised that they still have a shot at being in first place, but, you know, take a look at my Mad League. The Bills in my Mad League are chasing the 1972 Dolphins.
They beat right. Because the problem is, Laura, and this is what we thought about the AFC West, is like when your whole division is good, you beat up on each other, so everybody's going to be in it. Because especially if the Patriots can like go 2-4 in the division, if they beat Miami once, they beat Buffalo once, or if they just beat the Jets again, right? Like they're right in this thing, and that's the problem when your whole division's good because you beat up on each other, so nobody really gets that full head of steam lead, right? Like we're seeing with the Chiefs, like we're seeing with the Titans, like we're seeing with some of those other teams. Right, like the Vikings, right, where you kind of beat up on your division,
right,
and kind of take some leads. But with the AFC East and the NFC East, like when these teams are all good, and that's what's crazy about the NFC East right now is the Giants haven't played the Eagles yet. The Giants play the Cowboys again. the Cowboys and Eagles play again. Like this thing is not over at all in either division. Like, yeah, the Eagles are 8-1, like, or 9-1, but like, dude, the Giants are a game out. The Cowboys are 2 games out. The Giants got to play the Eagles twice. Like, dude, like
Commanders are 3 games out.
both these divisions, dude, are close. Like, the Jets got to play the Patriots, the Dolphins, and the Bills again. Like, dude, these divisions are not even. It's not even close. It's gonna be like right now, dude. Like these teams, like will switch like week to week. It's insane.
Now, one thing I wanted to mention, if you're a Giant fan, you're not going to like this. 5 of the final 8 games for the Giants are all division games. The one division game they played was back in week 3 at home against Dallas, and they lost.
But that's why you gotta respect what the Giants did, and that's what I need the Jets to do now when they play the Lions, the Bears, and the Jags. Is they gotta win because now the Giants have put themselves in matter, but they gotta win 2 games, maybe 3. Right? I think the NFC 9 gets you in because I think really the only team they can compete with is the Niners. But, like, it's going to be close. I think 10 wins guarantees you. And the Giants got to get 3 wins, Matty, in the schedule. And I think they can, which is why we always talk about you got to beat the bad teams.
Absolutely. Good point. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a little thing called, well, it's not called anything. It's just simply just ranking divisions from top to bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over the AFC East first, and we're going to rank them from 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going over the NFC East, rank them 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to start off with the NFC East. Ryan, I'm going to start with you. If you had to rank the NFC East from 1, 2, 3, and 4 right now, based on everything you've seen, how do you rank them and why?
Who finishes where?
Yeah, who finishes where? 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the NFC East.
Eagles. You know what? Screw it. Rather New York hype train. Giants, Dallas, Commanders.
Wow.
Screw it. Let it ride.
New York hype train is for real. All right, so Loro, NFC East, 1, 2, 3, and 4. How would you rank it?
Eagles 1, Cowboys 2, Giants 3, and then I think Commanders still in last.
It's so hard to pick whether the Giants or Dallas because I don't know.
Dallas and Giants, you could literally flip.
I know. I don't know.
Obviously, the Eagles are going to be in first. They are just unstoppable, except the Commanders didn't prove them wrong. I gotta stick with the Giants. I gotta go with the Giants at 2. That's just kind of amazing. The Giants are 2, the Cowboys are 3, and the Commanders are 4. So that's the NFC East. Ryan's got to take care of a little bit of something. Now for the AFC East, Loro. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, Jets in that order.
Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, Jets. Okay, so for me, I'm going to say I think Miami wins the division. I think those 2 losses for the Buffalo Bills is going to hurt them. I'm going to go with the Dolphins. I'm going with the Bills. I'm going to go with the Patriots. I'm going to go with the Jets. All right, so Ryan's having some technical difficulties going on. I don't know what's going on there, but like that's just how I see it. I think Miami wins the division. The reason why I think Miami wins the division, Tua is red hot right now. I think that the Dolphins, once they get rolling, it's gonna be hard to stop them. Although I do think the Week 15 game against Buffalo is gonna be a test as to how good this Dolphins team could really be because they haven't won in Buffalo yet, or at least Tua hasn't won in Buffalo yet. So it should be interesting.
It is. I think it will be interesting. I mean, the Dolphins already beat the Bills once this season.
Yeah, but that was in Miami. This time you're going to have Bills Mafia. It's going to be cold. The fans. It's just going to be that's going to be something. All right. So Ryan, unfortunately, I don't know what's going on with him, but we're going to do picks based on the spread through Yahoo Sports, and I got this all covered. So we're going to do picks based on the spread. Are you ready, Loro?
Yes.
All right. So first game we have the Green Bay Packers at home against the Tennessee Titans, and the Packers -3.5.
I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers to beat Tennessee.
I'm going with the Packers, too. I think they cover the spread. I think that as good as the Titans are, I think that the Packers are really good when they're at home, especially in prime time. I think that Aaron Rodgers and the Packers get it done here. All right, next game, we have the Atlanta Falcons at home against the Chicago.
I got him. Don't steal my job from me, Matty. I got him.
Sorry. I know you had some technical difficulties. I didn't know if you were around.
Yeah, no, I got him. What games did you do?
we only did one game. We did Titans, Packers, Packers minus 3.5.
Yeah. I got Tennessee in that.
You got Tennessee.
I do.
Okay. All right. What's next, Ryan?
Next is the Bears and the Falcons. The Falcons minus 3.5.
Another 3.5 point spread. The Falcons are coming off a tough loss to the Carolina Panthers. This NFC South division is still for grabs, though. The Bears, where has Justin Fields come from?
The second best running quarterback in football, bro.
All
Where he's
right.
come from.
I'm actually going to shock people. I'm going to pick the Chicago Bears to win this one. I think Justin Fields has been phenomenal. Ryan, what do you think? Ryan, what do you think about the
I got the Bears.
you got the Bears? All right. So, Laura, what do you think? Falcons and Bears. Falcons minus 3.5.
I'm going to go with you on this one, Matt. I'm going to go with the Chicago Bears. Justin Fields is – I know he's the real deal in Chicago, but I know that they're going to give him some more weapons in the offseason.
Took a long time to figure that out. All right. What's next, Ryan?
Next, Buffalo Bills. Cleveland Browns. Bills minus 8.5.
Bills minus 8.5. The Bills need a rebound really badly, and I think they're going to do it against the Browns. I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills in this one. Ryan, what do you think?
Yeah, I think they're going to do it as well.
Laura, what do you think?
I'm going to go with the I'm going to go with the Bills in this one.
All right, so
I
please
say
keep
that
there.
because I really think they're going to bounce back here.
All right, what's next, Ryan?
Next, we got the Philadelphia Eagles and the Indianapolis Colts. Eagles minus 6.5.
Jeff Saturday, you lucky man.
The Fighting Jeff Saturdays.
The Fighting Jeff Saturdays. Oh, my God. I'm happy Jeff Saturday got a win with no experience.
It's funny, bro. It's funny.
It's
Josh
funny.
McDaniels can't buy a win.
It's funny, but, like, I will say this, though. His luck's not going to last long. I got to go with the Eagles on this one. What do you
Yeah, so am I.
Laura, what do you think?
I am going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles. I was happy for Jeff Saturday, but I just don't see it being a win here for the Colts.
Neither do I. All right, what's next, Ryan?
Patriots, Jets, skip.
Skip.
Next, Rams, Saints. Saints minus 3.5.
The Saints are up and down. I don't know what's going on with them, but the Rams are just putrid.
They suck.
They are putrid. Like,
They
that's
suck,
not
bro.
good.
No, they're bad.
It's in the dome. It's in Louisiana Superdome. I gotta go with the Saints on this one, minus 4. Ryan?
I'm going to go with the Rams.
Okay.
Feeling it.
Interesting. Laura, what do you think?
I'm going to go with the Rams. I think if Matthew Stafford comes back healthy, I could see the Rams putting together a good run, but the NFC West might belong to Seattle or San Fran, but more likely Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle's looking really good, even though they lost the Germany game. What's next?
Detroit and the Giants, Maddie. Giants minus 3.5.
Big blue, big blue, big blue, big blue. I'm gonna go with the Giants.
And let me
Laura, what
say
do you
this.
think?
Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, go, Laura.
I'm going to go with the New York Giants here. Although the Lions have looked really good, but, I mean, the Lions are starting to pull it together, but I just don't think they're going to have it in MetLife Stadium.
All right, Ryan, what's on your mind?
So let me say something here before all you start ripping me. There's a difference between winning and covering. So I take the Lions.
Okay, fair enough.
That's all I'll say. I think the Giants win. I just think the Giants don't win by 3.
Oh, interesting. All right,
Luckiest
what's
team in
next?
football is winning by 2 points. I'm telling you.
Really? Okay, what's next?
Baltimore Ravens, Carolina Panthers. Ravens minus 12.5.
This game's not even gonna be close. Panthers are bad. Ravens, they're waiting to see if they can get Mark Andrews back. We'll have to see about that. But I'm gonna go with the Ravens for the time being. I think that they're better all around than the Panthers are. Ryan, what do you think?
12.5 is a lot of points, dude.
Uh-huh.
But I think I do go with the Ravens.
Laura, what do you think? Ravens?
I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens. I don't think they cover the spread. I think the score is going to be it's going to be ugly.
All right, what's
I
next?
could see it being a 63-0 game because of how bad Carolina is.
Good point.
And
All right,
Baker Mayfield's starting, and I'm like, he's going to get exposed.
he will get
That's it.
exposed. All right, what's next? What's next, Ryan?
Washington Commanders, Houston Texans. Commanders minus 3.5.
The Texans, I don't give a crap what I say. The Texans are putrid. They're a disaster. I don't give a crap if the Giants beat them by 8 points. They're bad. They're a bad team. They shouldn't be on the field with any other football team. Give me the Commanders easily.
Yeah, same. I think the Commanders are a better coach team.
Laura, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with the Washington Commanders. I just think Houston is just they're trash.
That's the first time I've ever heard you say that word. Oh my god, that's great.
They're trash, and do I think Davis Mills is really the answer at quarterback?
Not really.
Not necessarily. I think the Texans are probably going to move off from him.
That's what I think. All right, Ryan, what's next?
Vegas Raiders, Denver Broncos. Broncos minus 2.5.
These are two teams that are in desperate need of a win.
Yeah.
Desperate. The Raiders are 2-7. Broncos are 3-6. I got to go with the Raiders here. I just think that they're a better coach. I think these are two coaches, by the way, that could be on the hot seat by the end of the year.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I thought Josh McDaniels would be a Patriot by today, but
Good point.
Well, I talked about it last night that
I thought McDaniels was gonna get fired today.
Davis said something about Josh McDaniels, and Matt, you said that you did not buy into his comments yesterday.
I did not buy into what Mark Davis said about Josh McDaniels. I will say this though.
Remember what Woody Johnson said about Adam Gase?
Oh my God!
He knows what
brilliant offensive mind.
He knows he's coaching to where the offense is going. So you never take what these owners have to say. These guys don't know football at all.
Absolutely. Okay. But as far as the game goes, I'm going to go with the Raiders here. I think the Raiders desperately need this, and if they don't win this game, you fire Josh McDaniels then. Ryan, what do you think?
I got the Raiders as well.
Loro?
I'm going to go with the Raiders. I have high belief in my guy Josh and Derek Carr that they can try to overcome a 2-7 start, and maybe miracles can happen. As Al Michaels would say, do you believe in miracles?
Not in that division.
Not in that division. All right, what's next?
Talk about miracle on ice.
Yeah, Dallas Cowboys, Minnesota Vikings.
What's the spread?
Cowboys minus 1.5, and I will say it is not in prime time, so Kirk Cousins is still okay.
Kirk Cousins is okay. He stinks in prime time. I will say this though. Kirk Cousins played pretty good against the Buffalo Bills, but this Cowboy defense is another animal. The Buffalo Bills defense is not as good as. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
We're going to see I cannot wait to see overrated Trayvon get absolutely exposed.
By Justin Jefferson?
Oh, I can't wait.
Trayvon's going to be on Justin Jefferson. Anyway.
Overrated Trayvon. He's giving up 250 yards. Book it right now.
I'm gonna say Justin Jefferson has a good game, but I think the Vikings lose this one. I think they fall short. I think I'm gonna go with the Cowboys on this one.
Maddie, this is the definition of Maddie. Who blows it more, the Minnesota Vikings or the Dallas Cowboys?
And who do you have?
I had the Minnesota Vikings. I think the Dallas Cowboys lose 2 in a row.
All right, Laura, what do you think?
I am gonna go with the Minnesota Vikings here. I'm doing it for Stephen A. Smith, and as much as I like. I think the Cowboys are good, but I just think that the Vikings are I think the Vikings are just better overall.
And the best part of a Cowboys loss is Stephen A. Smith the next day on First Take.
Oh yes.
All right,
Prime television. Prime television.
What's next?
Cincinnati Bengals, Pittsburgh Steelers. Bengals minus 4.5.
The Pittsburgh Steelers are awful. This might be the first time since 2006 that they might have a losing season. It's been that bad in Pittsburgh, and Kenny Pickett still needs more time to develop. He's clearly not there yet, but I think the Bengals, even without Jamar Chase, watch Joe Mixon, by the way, because he's been the focal point of their offense since Jamar Chase got hurt. So I'm going to say the Bengals win this one. I think they cover the spread by 4.5. Ryan, what do you think?
I agree. I think the Bengals would cover by 4.5.
All right, Loro?
I'm going to go with the Bengals here. I mean, you and I were supposed to call our first Kenny Pickett game, but that's not going to be until Monday Night Football after Thanksgiving when the Steelers play the Colts.
Right. All right, Sunday Night Football. What do we got, Ryan?
Chiefs Chargers, the game that was flexed in here, Matty. Chiefs minus 6.5.
This is in LA. Obviously, Laura and I are calling this game on Sunday Night Football for the second consecutive week. The Chargers will be on Sunday Night Football. And if you follow us on Colorcast, at Matt Siriani 1221 and RBGR 824 and at Sports Junkie 812, you will know that Patrick Mahomes is a pretty frequent guy on this on the program.
He is. We've talked about it many times, Matt, that out of the games we've called since he started with me back in the beginning of January towards the playoffs,
Yeah.
We've had Patrick Mahomes a lot in our programs.
And that continues. Yep, fear the turtle. Fear the turtle. But also I gotta go
And
with
we
the Chiefs
enjoy
here.
it. We also enjoy having Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs on our programs.
We do enjoy having Patrick Mahomes on Colorcast. But now picking the game, I gotta go with the Chiefs here. I think the Chargers are depleted offensively without Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and no Jalen Guyton for the rest of the season. I think the Chargers defense is a little bit overrated, and I think Patrick Mahomes puts on a masterclass here. I gotta go with the Chiefs. Ryan?
Yeah, same. I think the Chiefs are going to show that they are still the best team in the AFC.
All right, Loro?
I have to go with the Chiefs. I love Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's keeping the Chargers afloat, but the Chargers have way too many injuries, so that's why I think the Chiefs are going to win.
All right, Monday Night Football in Mexico City.
San Francisco 49ers.
They're also calling that game.
San Francisco 49ers, Arizona Cardinals. Niners -7.5.
And Matt,
Kevin?
you and I are calling this game on Colorcast as well on a Monday night, the Monday
Absolutely.
before Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. And if there's one thing I'm thankful for besides being on this show with the two of you, it's calling games on Colorcast. But anyway, picking this game, I gotta say that the Arizona Cardinals are just not that great.
Sticky, smelly Arizona Cardinals.
Colt McCoy might actually be better than Kyler Murray. No, just kidding.
Good one, man.
Honestly,
Good
man, valid statement, dude.
That was a bold statement right there.
I respect it. Dude. Kyler's
Listen,
trash.
he's proved it. He's proved it.
Kyler's terrible.
All right, but picking this game, I gotta go with the 49ers on this one. I think they're just a better coach team overall, and the Cliff Kingsbury is going to be done by the end of the year. Ryan?
Yeah, give me San Fran.
Loro?
I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers. And I say that because even though the Niners defense struggles against running quarterbacks, there's a reason for me to believe why I think San Fran's going to come out and get a win.
Interesting. All right, FYI, Rutgers is going down November 26th, just saying. Oh, my God. That's going to be a bloodbath between Rutgers and Maryland because Rutgers is just not that good in football. But anyways, we're going to go over this really quick. We're on Facebook at Siriani Says Sports. We're on Instagram at Siriani Says Sports. We're on Colorcast at Matt Siriani1221 and RBJR824. We're on Sports Junkie 812. We are on Twitter at Siri Says Sports. And we're on so many other outlets. Check us out. Siriani Says, and we're on YouTube, by the way. That's one thing I forgot to mention. YouTube, Siriani Says Sports. Well, check us out. We're on every Tuesday. When the holidays come around and when Ryan's out of class, we're going to try and make more videos because Ryan being in college is very, very hard.
4 more weeks.
4 more weeks. 4 more weeks. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us. From Ryan Barron Jr., Laura Antonio, I'm Matt Siriani. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. We greatly appreciate your support on this episode and for other previous episodes in the past. Keep tuning into us. Have a great night. Stay safe. And, of course, peace out.
Have a great night, everyone.